is you being able to go ahead and apply systems in any different ways. Okay, the way it works is usually, right, LOA in the field translates to LOA in recruiting, okay? And LOA in recruiting usually translates to LOA in leaders. And then LOA in leaders translates to LOA in owners. Make sense?
Yeah.
So you never get rid of the numbers, okay? There's always a numbers game to it. There's always gonna be a numbers game in this business, right? You want this many people showing up in orientation, you need to hire this many people. You want this many sales for qualifying, you probably need to get this many talkies. Everyone understand that?
Yeah.
So when I'm talking about it, yes, I'm gonna talk about customers for a little bit, but really apply it to the long term, is what I'm trying to say, okay? So really transition, I really recommend everyone plug in, okay? And really just take a tons of notes and realize that this is how I love systems to be taught back. Okay, one of the qualifications for leadership is teaching back your systems. Okay, and this is how I love them to teach back. One time, I really genuinely think our leaders are too nice sometimes. They walk y'all through it the whole way. They even like make y'all cheat a little bit, and then they count it as like, oh, they just taught back systems. Okay, no, if y'all, I'm surprised no entry level has ever asked to teach them back to me. Okay, which y'all definitely can if y'all don't know. Y'all can definitely ask to teach them back to me. I would love for someone to teach it back. Because with me, I was super hard on my people. But they also always qualified after teaching back their systems. Okay, high standards, high results. Low standards,
No results.
okay, so. Cool, thank you. Alright, so the first one, which one would y'all love to go over? I kind of know which one all the office needs, but I love taking people. So now you raise your hand with confidence, tell me, which one do you want to learn? You want to learn Fuji? That's the one I was going to go over. Good job. Come on, that's why she qualified. Good job. I think that's the most important one to know to get to leadership. Can everyone agree?
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to know the pitch, but if you know how to use that pitch, smokes, it goes over. Oh, it's in the pitch.
Okay.
Alright, with that being said, yes, we're gonna learn Fuji. Okay, Fuji's super important. Alright, and with that being said, what does 5 steps to a conversation create? It creates what?
Impulse.
So Fuji, that we use in 5 steps to a conversation, creates a lot more impulse. Okay, so that's what Fuji's creating. No, you're good. I don't know if this is gonna go good.
It ain't. My college days came out. Cool. My house is so hard to record.
Come on! Cool. Alright, let's plug in Fuji. What? Hold on, here. Oh, it's so cold. Ah, it's so cold. Okay, cool. A system to create more impulse. Okay, only entry levels, I would love for y'all to speak. Okay, level 1s, I know y'all know it. Okay, that's how y'all got there. Okay, legacy, y'all should definitely know it. Okay, and Legion, yes, for sure. Okay, so entry levels, right? What does the F stand for in Fuji?
Fear loss.
Fear of loss. Good job. And now, I'm gonna talk about the why before I even talk about how to apply it. Why do you think it's important to apply fear of loss? Why does somebody want to be fear of loss?
Because I don't want to miss out.
You don't want to miss out, right? Because if we give somebody the option to do something later, what are they going to choose at 100% of the time?
Later.
100% of the time, they're going to be later. Imagine if I said, hey, this water's coming, but you can sign up whenever. Do you want to do it right now? Will anybody be like, yes, please waste my time?
No.
Will anybody do that?
No.
No, right? You want to fear of loss. I'm like, hey, I'm a walking promotion. I want you to write that down. The analogy you want to use is I'm the walking promotion. So if I leave, what else leaves with me?
My promotion.
The promotion, right? That the moment I walk out of your door, you missed out on something good. Right? And you want to create that fear of loss. Now, we can do that verbally and non-verbally. Okay? Now, what are some actual phrases what we like to use during Fuji? In fear of loss, that create that sense.
You have a limited amount of slots on tower.
Slots on tower, okay? Limited amount of towers.
We only got her today.
I'm gonna try to keep it as broad for both campaigns, so I'm gonna say limited amount. Okay?
Everyone is getting it.
Okay, that's part of Fuji, but not part of fear of loss.
Before we run out, we out here today.
Only out here today. Before we run out. Okay, now all of these you need to understand are true. Okay? Nobody knows this story, but back in Raleigh, Okay, especially back in Dallas. That happened a lot more in Dallas. We got a call. We got back in Raleigh, back in our old office, right? Back in Dallas, we got a call from Richard saying, "Hey guys, they sold out of the dispensers. You can't sell." Like we legit ran out of machines to sell. Okay, and we also run out of the bottom loaders all the time. So we honestly do have a limited amount. So that's why you can say before we run out. Okay, what did you say? You said another one.
I said before.
You said before we ran out? There's one more I heard.
Before we're only here for today.
We're only here for today. While supplies last, okay? What other ones?
While I'm here.
I like to say before I leave.
Thank you.
Hey, before I leave, all the machines are only $3. Hey, before I leave out of here, right, all these people are start off at 80, but with me it drops down immediately to 70, and we'll see what other promotions we get. We can get as low as 40 today. Just grab your phone. So you know what you qualify for. Okay? Like you use yourself as a walking promotion, it will work out every single time. Agreed?
Agreed.
Cool. You is?
Urgency.
I'm gonna harp on this one. Legends, y'all know why. Okay. Urgency. Okay, urgency creates a certain type of thing, right? Do you think I have more chances of hitting a three-pointer if I try 100 times or one time? 100, right? I only need one time because I'm a baller. But right, if I have 100 times, you have more chances to make the shot, right?
Yes.
Agree. So, what do you have more chances of making money on? $120 or 30?
120 doors.
So, what do you think is the ideal situation to hit every day? Let's see.
120.
120 doors, right? Now I know that's more simple than easy to say, but like that is the goal. And what's gonna help you get there is urgency. Because the moment you find out they're not a quality customer, you walk away. I walked away from 3 customers because they're like, I just want to try it out. I'm like, yeah, Verizon's not looking for that. I'm like, we're looking for people that are long term, so if you change your mind, here's my number. Other than that, you have a great day. The other person's like, nah, I just want a bundle. So it's like, if you don't have a bundle, I'll get it for the first 30 days because it says it on the receipt. And I'm like, no, we're not looking for people to cancel after 30 days. But I walked away from 3 people that could have been sales. That probably would have been solved. That probably would have made me money. But were they good for Verizon? No. So instead, I actually walked away within the first 10 minutes, and that got me my next 4 sales. Sometimes so many of us are like, we don't know if that's going to be the next step. We don't know if that's the last sale of the day. Okay, I used to tell, I was in the field, guys. I completely understand it. Okay? So many of us, we like to waste time with people who aren't valuable customers because we're fear of loss by ourselves. And we're like, dang, I think that's the last sale in this neighborhood. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Urgency will make you heighten the chances always. Okay? Now we do this verbally and non-verbally. Okay, verbally, what are some things you like to say to be like, create that urgency?
Real quick, grab
Real quick. And we say that always right before what?
the phone call.
Before we ask for the phone. Okay, what else?
Super fast.
Super fast?
Really quick.
Super fast, really quick.
Go grab.
Go grab.
Super fast, really quick before I get my
Takes no time.
No time at all, right? I always say 1 second.
Super fast, super quick.
What's the last thing?
Last thing. Bro, I promise you, they're like, okay, I don't have that much time. I'm like, yeah, we only need one more thing. I want one more thing for 5 pages. Last email, and I'm barely sitting in with the first one. Right? It's always that way. That you gotta create that sense of urgency. They're like, I don't have that much time. I'm like, last thing we need is your social security. Last thing we need is you to check the boxes. Last thing we need is your signature. Last thing we need is for you to register. And that person's like, you would say last thing a lot. I'm like, yeah, last thing I need is your number.
The last thing I need is for you to talk.
Yeah, last thing. Right? And then the water, same way. Hey, last page. Okay, one more page. Right? Last thing we need is a delivery address. Last thing we need is a credit card. Which one do you want to use? Okay, last thing we need is for you to download the app. My bad. Alright, last thing we need for you to sign in. Okay, I promise. Alright, last thing we need is I'm gonna send you an email and boom. Okay? It's super simple. Right? You make it simple and people are always gonna be there. Understood? But you gotta be urgent with it. What's up?
Does go ahead count as urgency? Like I tell people, like, go ahead and plug it in. Go
That's
ahead.
more direct. Okay, non-verbally, what are some things that create urgency?
Tap watch.
Foot
Look
tap.
at
Foot
the.
tap. I know
Tap in the
you've
QR
been out
code.
in the field with.
Tap in the QR code.
The dog.
Man, bro. Not the foot tap.
Checking your iPad.
Checking your iPad.
Just tapping your watch and looking at your clipboard.
Looking around.
Outside.
It's almost done.
Bro, I will fake a phone call. I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm almost done. And then hang up. Okay? Like, I will always try to find a way. Like, if someone's talking about their cat that died 15 years ago, okay, I'm trying to bring it back to the water. I'm like, well, if they drink this purified water, they would probably be alive today because what they're doing, and then I go right back into it. Okay? Like, you gotta be that serious. Like, my conversation does not want to stray away. Every single time, okay? I know that was a bad analogy, okay? But
It's true, though.
people who've been out in the field with me, no, I will always bring it back. Agree?
Agreed.
Who's been in the field with me? Raise your hand. Okay, do I not only talk about the water? Right? They're talking about the skincare routine. I'm like, yeah, this purified water is gonna help your skin.
That's it.
You're welcome. Okay? And they're like, yeah, I'm on a quick, they're like, yeah, I need to go back to work. And I'm like, yeah, me too, really quick. Yeah, me too, really quick. Okay, this is gonna help your internet service. It's gonna make it a lot faster. Okay, that way you don't spend 20 minutes logging in.
Danny, I ain't got time.
Really quick, me neither. Okay. Alright, last thing. Green. Not the last thing, sorry. But next one. Okay, the biggest thing I like to talk about is what effect? Jones. Who's keeping up with Jones? Jones.
Everyone wants to.
Everyone wants whatever. This is why you qualified. Do you understand that? Like, this is why you qualified. It's so good. Okay. Yes, everyone wants a jet. The reason why is because have you ever seen a Ring camera on an apartment or a house?
You got one.
Bro, the next 5 doors do. And it's funny because you'll see Ring doorbell version 1, Ring 2.0. And then you see Google Home. And then you see Kangaroo. Right? It's so funny, right? Everyone's trying to one up the person. It's so funny. Right? But all you gotta do to help this, name drop. You name drop, you're good to go. Okay? Because I promise you, it's usually in resis too. Right? You use one name, everybody knows this name. Yeah, just like I was telling Caroline down the street. Like, you know Caroline? I'm like, yeah, she just got it. She's like, what? I was just talking to her last week.
That's trying to set it up today.
Bro, Vanessa gets everything. Vanessa lives everywhere in every zip code. That girl is buying. Freaking gay, bro. But you've been using Vanessa for 7 months.
Vanessa everywhere I go.
Vanessa lives in every neighborhood. Vanessa's rich. Okay. Alright. Jones effect. Okay, also, bro, you want to just create, like, name drop and really going ahead and saying a lot more things like, instead of you, what should we replace it with?
Everyone.
You goes to everyone. You should never say you. Okay? I'm like, everyone needs to put in a card. Which one are you using today? Right? Everyone's getting it, so really quick, grab your phone. I would hate for you to miss out. I'm like, hey, all your neighbors, instead of, hey, what they're offering you today. It's the same way I never say, hey, with me today, you can get 3 jugs, 50% off. I'm like, hey, what Nestle is giving y'all, right? Like, if in your pitch, if you're not high producing, this is a side comment, right? In your pitch, if you're saying, hey, with me today, you get, stop saying that. I heard some people say that when they're practice pitching. It's a no-go. You sound like a salesman. Okay, you want to disconnect that and say, hey, blame it on Verizon or blame it on Nestle. Cool? All right. You instead of everyone, right? All your neighbors. How many people have had sales where they're like, is everybody getting this?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you've gotten those people. Right? And immediately, what is our answer?
Yeah.
Your neighbors want it. Okay? And the best thing is Raleigh's been selling water for a bit. How many of y'all love when y'all see one person has the jugs? Oh my gosh, I'm like, yeah, just like I was telling your neighbors, you see those jugs? Yeah, you're gonna have their life better just like them too. Right? You're welcome. Right? And someone actually had someone had Verizon yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, is that the white box that got delivered the other day? I'm like, yeah. That was the first time it ever happened to me. I was so excited. Okay, for Verizon. I was like, yes! Like,
All your neighbors.
Yeah, I'm like, all your neighbors, right? And so I got his name, and I was starting using his name every time. I'm like, hey, Jordan, on the other side of the cul-de-sac, super happy. Alright, other side. Right into Vanessa. Okay. Last one is what?
Indifferent.
Okay, you go to the field with Madison one time, if you qualify, this is her favorite one. People are like, yeah, I'm not interested. And she's like, you don't drink water? And they're like, yeah. She's like, well, then grab your phone. What do you mean? Right? And it's that simple. Right? Like, you want to be the buyer at all times. Even though you can sell them the service, you want to remain the buyer at all times, and you want to be calm, cool, and collected. Okay? And one thing we do that with body language is using what?
Panda pause.
Panda pause all the time.
Comedy.
That lean. That's so funny we call it Tommy lean. Tommy, I promise you, would sometimes practically be laying down. He'd be right here, someone opens the door, this man is right here. He's like, what's up? Imagine someone coming to your door like this.
Wow.
Do you think they're trying to sell you something?
No.
No, they're trying to check if your wall's standing right now. Okay, Tommy will be right on that door, grab it on the phone right here, situation. Okay, like if you're standing, imagine me opening your door, and I'm like, what's your name? JC, that's super cool, bro. Like what they're doing. I'm like, bro, why are you all up on the grill like that? Okay, like you want to be, they want to see the whole door. I'm right here. I'm like, hey, what they're doing? Always. Even when I'm knocking, I always have my foot crossed. It's the littlest things that will help you create that indifference. Okay, and someone comes on, they're like, what? Anybody ever get that person that's like not the happiest?
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, hey, nothing crazy. Okay, I'm just a water boy. What are you doing yelling at the water boy? I'm just a Wi-Fi guy, bro. And they're like, what's up? And I'm like, I just gotta let everyone know. They're like, let them know what? I'm like, and then I go straight to my pitch. The indifference allows you to get way more talk-tos. The indifference allows you to finish your pitch. Hands down. Okay? The nothing crazy is crazy. The nothing crazy go crazy. They're like, what do you want? And they're like, I'm not interested in what you're selling. I'm like, there's nothing crazy. I'm just selling my personality. What's your name? I'm like, what's up? And I'm like, they just wanted me to let everyone know about the construction. Did they talk to you yet? They're like, no, what's going on? Boom, pitch. Boom, social. No loco. No loco. Okay? We gotta be better at using this. Because when it's 7 o'clock and y'all have nothing on the board, y'all throw this straight out the window. And instead of Fuji, y'all using food. Okay, because y'all get commission breath. We get commission breath way too often. Where they open the door and you're like, oh my God, they're smiling. And you get so excited, like, no. Stay calm, cool, and collected. Okay? So many times y'all are like practically inside their doors. Trying to get the zip. And I'm like, bro, like, get your foot out of the way. Like, just do the lean. Super easy. Understood? Do you have questions over any of this?
No.
Guys, we create more of this, right? Imagine, and the best thing is, I always like to end it with, is the key to using Fuji correctly is understanding that you don't just use one. Right? You utilize more than the others. If I'm talking to someone my age, I'm indifferent and urgent all the way. Because if people our age, they love to talk about anything and everything. Same thing with older people. Senior people who are retired, I'm using a whole ton of urgency and a whole ton of greed. If I see a couple, a whole ton of Jones effect. And a lot of fear of loss. Okay? In fear of loss, like all it is if you're not in the, people think residentials all the time is so much harder. It's not. It just stresses your system. It challenges you to use your systems a lot more than usual. And run. Urgency. Okay? If we're better at utilizing this a little bit more, I promise you this can get you 1 or 2 more yeses. And 1 or 2 more yeses a week is probably $400 or $500 extra bucks on your paycheck. And probably 2 weeks off of your until your next promotion just cut off just like that. Just because you're utilizing the systems every day. And who would appreciate that? Cool. All right, I think we can use this a little bit more?
Yes.
Awesome.